Yes, the Castlenovians. Oh, boys, just wanted to take you on a little evening stroll with me. Oh, it's so nice here, like absolute picturesque. Let me just give you a quick snap. It's really nice. It actually takes me back to the days when I was 13 and I had atrocious social skills. I decided to become a magician, and the first place I went to perform magic to strangers was parks, like quiet areas, because in those areas the spotlight effect wasn't as fierce. Like, even though I grew up in a small town, it had about 60,000 people. Like the town centre was not that big. It still felt overwhelming to me as a 13-year-old kid who had what I perceived to be severe social anxiety. So, like, when I first decided to become a magician and start performing magic to people, like, I battled with that whole resistance to approaching people for the first couple of months. So I used to always say to myself, I remember lying in my bed the night before, it was always like, right, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to go outside, I'm going to perform magic to people. And then tomorrow came round, I'd have all of that resistance, I'd have all of those self-limiting beliefs and those undesirable feelings, and I could just never bring myself to pull the trigger. So this is why when guys work with me now, it's like I see my 13-year-old self in them, and I get it. And I think it's important to have empathy and just to make people such as yourself realize that you're not alone on this journey. I've just started a lot earlier than most people, okay? So don't judge your first chapter by my 30th. But yeah, I just wanted to just make this for anybody who's feeling overwhelmed with cold approach, which is probably the same as saying someone who's feeling overwhelmed with dating. You probably come to the realization that I had 4 years ago, where cold approach becomes your only viable option to find your wife-worthy woman, right? You don't want to do dating apps, you don't want to do nightclubs, you don't want to do social media game, you don't want to do social circle game. So it's like, okay, what are my other options? Oh, cold approach, going over to people, stone cold sober during the day. But then that causes a lot of mental resistance amongst people, which I fully understand. So I would say to you, first of all, just the sheer fact that you're watching this content and you're actually on this unorthodox odyssey of wanting to improve yourself, I think just take a massive win from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, just the sheer fact that you've got a desire to improve your life, improve not just your dating life, but the future life of your family, because your ability to unlock this skill set and attract a high quality partner, that is directly linked to the replication of your lineage. So it's like, you're not just doing it for you, you're doing this for your future family. So I think, first of all, just commend yourself for actually wanting to get started with this, because it's not an easy path, and you might have a lot of people in your life at the moment who are trying to shame you for wanting to go out there and improve yourself, who like wanting to go out there and meet women who you find attractive rather than marinating in the matrix of mediocrity. So I think that's just the first thing, right? It's like, I know it can feel scary at first, and I know we're not always feeling our best. I know there's this avalanche of anxiety and perceived lack of self-worth that you might be dealing with on a daily basis. I get it. I understand. But you're not on your own. I think that it's like Nietzsche said, he who has a strong enough why can bear any how. So just understand like why you actually want to do it. You know, building that future family, developing that rock star confidence. It might even be a counterculture movement to society that wants to keep you shackled. Oh, be a good boy, do this, work the 9 to 5, ask for permission when you're allowed to go for a shit. I've always viewed it like that. You know, cold approach for me is the decentralized skill set of the awake 1%, the people who are not content with just sleepwalking the way through life and meeting a woman by accident and leaving their dating lives up to algorithm and chance. So just commend yourself for watching the content, commend yourself for actually having a desire to go out there and do something, and then celebrate every step along the way. I think if there's one thing that you take away from this particular stream, just celebrate every victory. So if you're somebody like I used to be when I was 13 years old, and you've got a lot of self-limiting beliefs and you've got a lot of social resistance, and you feel as though no matter what you do, you're never going to be good enough, you're never going to be able to live the life that you want to live, you're always going to be just like in that box where you feel stifled and you don't feel like you're enough, then just celebrate those wins. So like just the sheer fact that you might have got out the house today with the intention of approaching somebody. Maybe you don't do any approaches today, but maybe you had the intention of actually approaching somebody. That's a win, so celebrate it. And then maybe the day after that, you take the next step forward, which is just starting to make eye contact with people. You know, when you leave the house, just set yourself the intention. Every moderately attractive woman that walks past you, you're going to make eye contact with her, and you're going to allow her to be the one to break the gaze. And then maybe you can introduce a smile into there. So now, every time you leave the house, it becomes this social experiment. It becomes this little challenge, this little game that you play with yourself. Let's see how many eye contacts I can make today. Let's see how many smiles I can give. Then maybe you get to a place 7 days down the line where you just start saying good morning to people, or good afternoon, or good evening. So it's like eye contact, smile, hi, good morning, good evening. And even like as I'm just saying that to you now, I'm not in the most social mood today. I've been doing a lot of deep work and more cognitive tasks. Just having this lightness to me, just having this lightness where I can say things with a smile. I'm having that more of that childlike energy where I can just speak my truth. I can be like jovial and lighthearted and remind myself in 100 years, none of this is going to matter. In 20 years, you're going to look back on this and be like, those were the good old days. I think we oftentimes forget that. Like these days right now, they'll be the good old days one day. So it's like, I don't know, just do your best to celebrate yourself. Be your own biggest cheerleader. And every social victory that you stack, however small it might be, it might even just be striking up a 30-second conversation with the cashier or the barista or the guy who's fixing up his bike in the corner. You know, just all of these social wins, just stack them and celebrate them and remind yourself that you are moving forward and you are making progress. It's like going to the gym. It's quite satisfying to be able to watch your lifts go up, even if it's incremental. Even if you only added like 0.5 kg on either side of the barbell. But like that, there's just a sensation that happens, that feeling of accomplishment where you watch the number go up, or you feel more accomplished. You're like, oh, I've been able to do this. It's the same thing with your social skills. Yeah, it's social skills. Yeah, these things, they can be learned, they can be improved, and they can eventually be mastered. I think any skill that you want to improve, it's like learning a language, getting a better body, call approach. You know, it's just putting in the reps and just, I think, not getting bogged down by what other people are doing. I think it's easy today to get consumed by social media, looking at other people's lives, being like, oh, this guy's got this, and this. Oh, why don't I have that? Oh, I must be an unlovable piece of shit. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your wins. You go outside today. Maybe you make eye contact. Maybe you give somebody a smile. Maybe you just give a stranger a compliment. You can just start off with like quote unquote easier places. Like you can just come to like a park or a quieter area of your city. If going into your city center just feels super overwhelming right now, and that's okay. We're all operating on our own timeline. Don't think that you're inferior because you need to go to a quieter place. It's a rite of passage, dude. Like, it's just because I started earlier. I think that's what you need to understand. Like, people will see me make videos today, or they'll meet me in person. They'll think, oh, this guy just hopped out the womb being #confident. It's like, dude, I've been building these social skills for the best part of 15 years now. So I know what it's like to be a beginner, but just give yourself permission to suck at the start. All right, fuck perfection, just show up. Even if you feel weird for going over to people, even if you're like, oh shit, are these people gonna like me? Just be action focused rather than outcome dependent, and just stack these wins along the way, right? Like one of the mantras, little pithy quotes that I like to give to you boys is, every action that we take, we're investing into the identity of the version of ourselves who we want to embody. Okay, the goal is not to chase a goal. The goal is to chase an identity. So if you want any more help with this, then highly, highly, highly recommend you download my free courses. I've got Conversation Killer, which essentially teaches you how even the most introverted of guys can get started and get results from daytime call approach. And I've also got my Most Fuckable Man course, which teaches you how you can become the version of yourself who call approach can actually work for. So yeah, go gobble those courses up. They're really good. I really like them. The courses that I wish had been available to me when I first started. I think there's a lot of nonsense out there on the internet. I think there's a lot of noise and just bad advice from bad commentators. And I've done my best over the years to just try and keep it real with you boys. Actually show me out there in the field, rather than just being a talking head video, just telling you how to approach, how to get a number, how to build attraction. It's like, I'd rather just go out in the field and actually show you boys. So yeah, get the free courses. I'll link them below. And yeah, I don't know, I just hope this video helps you, because I know what it feels like to just feel lost, afraid, alone. It feels as though, you know, you're never going to be #worthy, but again, he who has a strong enough why can bear anyhow. You know, if you really want to do this, you will find a way. If not, you'll find next use. I think the final thing for people who are still here is your progress will not be linear. I think if you actually understand this, it's going to save you a lot of wasted energy and unnecessary internal conflict. It's not linear. And what I mean by that is you could go out into your city centre this Saturday and you could say good morning to 10 people and feel like an absolute king. And then 24 hours later, you might try and repeat the same exercise, but for whatever reason, you just can't bring yourself to even make eye contact with a stranger. Don't judge yourself for it. Don't judge yourself. You're not a robot. You're not a machine. Just accept it, right? Nothing is good nor bad. It's the thinking that makes it so. That doesn't mean don't push yourself. Of course, I need you to push yourself. I really need you to push yourself, but I think don't force it. There are just some days where you're just not in the mood. Maybe you've had a really cognitive, stressful day, and going outside and forcing yourself to do 20 direct call approaches just to quiet that inner voice inside of you who tells you you're never going to be enough. You know, sometimes it is just a case of mañana. Chill, take it easy, 100 years. None of this is going to matter anyway. So, yeah, that's more of a piece of advice to the high achieving guys out there, because I know that you're so used to winning in your career and everything is structured, everything is regimented. Oftentimes you're used to operating from a place of fear rather than from a place of love. I get that, but be kind to yourself, right? It's just so important. It's a mental game that we're playing, and if your mental headspace is not on point, then, you know, internal state is external reality. Yeah, she feels what you feel. So yeah, sometimes it's okay to just it's okay sometimes to just doubt yourself. It's fine. You know, again, we're not robots. So just do the best with what you've got. Celebrate every single win that you stack. Maybe for you, that's going outside, making eye contact, saying good morning to somebody, and then just build your way up gradually, crescendo your way towards confidence. And you'll get there. I've been able to do it. It took me best part of 15 years, but I was able to do it. And that's why I put these videos out there, as well as to selfishly attract people into my private network, the Entourage. It's to condense the learning that it's taken me to condense it into a shorter time horizon for you, so it won't have to take you 15 years. So yeah, get the free courses. I hope you found them useful. I hope you found the streams useful. I love you boys very much, and I will speak with you tomorrow. I'll give you one last panoramic of Dubai, because it's nice. It was really cool actually yesterday. Fucking hell, he's still talking. It was cool yesterday, right? I was walking down this way, and there was a group of Indian guys over there playing cricket. And like, I was like, do you know what? All the money in the world, all of the materialistic possessions, everything that's going on in the world, in that moment, nothing else mattered to those guys. They were playing cricket, they were with the boys, they were celebrating life, they were doing what truly motivated and inspired them. I was like, we never get the same moment twice. You know, we never get the same moment twice. So yeah, just enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. One day, it's going to be space dust and ashes, and we don't even know when that day is going to be. Anyway, I'll shut the fuck up now. I'll speak with you tomorrow. Mwah!